Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Blokees Star Wars Champion Class Han Solo Stormtrooper Disguise Version Model Kit. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here on the top, we've got Blokees Han Solo Stormtrooper Disguise Version. And then there's a nice, I'm guessing, product shot and not digital render there, with kind of a hologrammy background going on there. Model kits, Champion Class, Star Wars A New Hope, Champion Series. On the front, Blokees, Star Wars. Again, that nice holographic type background. Product shot or digital render of what's in the box. Model kits, 103 pieces. Champion Class, Star Wars A New Hope, Han Solo Stormtrooper Disguise Version. Champion Series, no glue, or no paint, no glue, no cutters. We'll see about the cutters. So it's medium difficulty. There is a code if you want to scan it. You can find them on Instagram, X, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, all kinds of stuff. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. Attention, don't stick things, especially in your French pie hole, if they don't belong there. Genuine license to Lucasfilm. On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, some Oriental print, some foreign language print, symbols I'm not going to learn, a barcode. Don't give it to babies. Recycle it and all that kind of stuff. On this side, again, a nice product shot with a like Death Star hallway background and then holographic lights inside of it. So that's pretty cool looking. And then some sprues down here, model kits. On this side, Star Wars. Again, it's pretty much this picture from the top, only they took the helmet off, or maybe that one. No, it's different. So they took the helmet off. It's got that same background. Han Solo Stormtrooper Disguise Version. Some more sprues, model kits. And then finally on the back, Star Wars. And then here is, I'm going to say digital renders at this point, because that kind of looks digitally. This definitely. And then that, well, it probably is too. So it's got sprues. It's got multiple hands, helmet, big rifle. Shows you how the parts kind of fit together. And that, my friends, is a look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure or model kit and the accessories or leftover pieces, however you want to look at it, or accessories and leftover pieces. So first off, because it's like very prominently up here in the way, we'll talk about the stand. It's 3 pieces, and I'm sure they use this stand probably in all of the Champion Class stuff, because this nameplate right here is a piece that just can change out. So there's that. And of course, it's got a post back here that looks like it's probably for a flight stand of some kind, or at least a stability stand. And then it's got 2 pegs right here, and I'll get to that in a bit as far as how that works. And this piece can twist, although I don't know why you would need it to. And you can see there's lots of ports there on the bottom of it. And I'm assuming that's for different things, because they probably use that for a lot of different kits. So next up here we have the instruction manual. Blokees Star Wars model kits, 103 pieces, Champion Class, Star Wars New Hope, Han Solo Stormtrooper Disguise, SML model kits. It does say you don't need paint, glue, or clippers. The last one I disagree with. I did use clippers on mine, and unless you want little sprue parts sticking out after twisting them off of the sprues, then you'll want to use some straight nippers too. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole if they don't belong there. Attention, especially don't stick things in your French pie hole. And then there's a QR code if you want to scan that for more information. It's for 14 and up, and that's probably the kit number. And it gives the dimensions of 16.0 centimeters or 6.30 inches. So on the inside, it's pretty straightforward instructions. Gives you a parts list, shows you how everything goes together. Pretty easy, pretty simple to follow. And then on the back, Star Wars, because it's Star Wars, of course. So next up, we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at some of the smaller bits and bobs. And here's the standard Stormtrooper blaster. And I have to say, it does have some nice molded details, and it looks very, very good, in my opinion. Very realistic. I don't think the details are showing up on camera as good as they do in person. So that looks pretty good. And it does have storage, and we'll show that in a minute. Alright, here is one of the extra hands. You can see it doesn't have the white plate on the back of it. And that's because it needed 3 more plates to complete everything. But as it is, we do have some hands here with extra plates on them, plus the ones on the figure. And you can swap the plates out. I mean, it's not a super big deal. It just kind of irks me that they didn't include that. And you can see it's got a big fat tab on it right there. And that's for holding the helmet. And I will try to show that in a minute. I haven't tried it before, so I don't know exactly how it works. Here he has a pointing finger. You listen to me, sweetheart. And you can see it does have the armor piece on it. Nice molded details. And here's like a relaxed or cradling hand. And there's 2 of these, a left one and a right one. Again, nice molded details. Some of these parts might actually be just a bit shiny, especially the black looks a bit glossy. And then here he has the gun holding hand that is holding a gun. And it looks to be the same mold as the actual gun, just with a hand molded on it. Here is another type of gun holding hand, and I'll show you how that works in a minute. Again, you can see this doesn't have the armor piece on it. It does have a tab on the inside there. And then the last hand is the long rifle holding hand, but you can see it doesn't have all the long rifle parts on it. And what you have to do is take them off of the completed piece and put them on here if you want them to hold this weapon. And again, it's very nicely molded. And again, no armor piece. So next up here we do have the completed long rifle, and it does easily pull apart to attach to the other one, if that's something you want to do. And again, just like the standard blaster, the long rifle has some very nice molded details in it. The bipod does not move, unfortunately. That would have been a nice extra piece or pieces for this gun. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. And you can see it's got, where is it? It's got a port or slot in it right there, and that's how it works with this extra hand with the tab on it. You put the barrel up toward the closed off fingers, and now you can hold the rifle with the butt on the ground by the barrel. Not the safest way to hold a projectile weapon. Alright, here's an extra piece. This is an extra foot piece that you can swap out to use with the stand. There's only one of these, and it is for the right foot, I think. So anyway, you pull the flat piece off and you put this piece on in place of it, and then it will port into the stand. Here's just an extra piece, and I think this is one of the torso pieces. It's a socket for a ball joint. Here's an extra neck piece, which really I don't think is extra. I think this is on the sprue because this shares parts with the Stormtrooper model and the Luke Skywalker as a Stormtrooper model, and I think this is the Luke Skywalker neck. And then you do get one extra wrist piece. It's got two balls on it and a hinge in the middle. Then these two extra thigh pieces, again, it shares sprues with other figures, and these go to the Luke Skywalker. Because he's shorter than Han Solo. He actually is shorter than Han Solo. So here's an extra belt without a post for the blaster holster, and you can swap this piece out, and it does have a tab, a T-shaped tab on the back of it for swapping out that canister that goes on the back of Stormtrooper belts. And again, it is nicely detailed, and it's got two clips right here for the little flaps in the front, and I'll show you those in a minute when we go over the figure. And then the last piece is the helmeted head, and it is a separate head. It's not just a helmet that goes on, because it does assemble in several pieces. And I have to say, you know, it's got some nice coloration to it, and it looks very Stormtrooper-y. And let's see, where's that other hand? Ah, here it is. So you can take that post, and you can see there's two slots on the inside there, and you put it in there, and when you attach it to the figure, he's holding the helmet. So that's how that looks. So not bad. Now let's take a look at the figure or model kit itself, however you want to describe it. And first off, you're going to notice that the likeness is not realistic. We'll put it like that. So it has a cartoon look to it. In my opinion, that's how it looks. Is just cartoony. But I don't know, you know, I guess from profile you can kind of tell it's Han Solo. Straight on, just because the context of what he's wearing and his hair, maybe you could tell that it was Han Solo. But regardless, the deco apps on the face plate are very nice. The eyes look pretty much straight ahead, and they're done nicely, as well as the eyebrows. And it does appear that it's probably some type of inkjet printing, because I see little dots on it, and I don't know if that's showing up on camera or not. It's probably not. So nice molded details in the hair, and the face is nicely detailed, even though it's not realistic or screen accurate. And now, I don't know that I can say the same for the rest of the armor. Maybe this piece here it's a separate piece from the leg that clips on, and it's probably a bit too big, and the same goes for this knee piece as well, being a separate piece. It seems like it might be a little bit too big, but it's got some nice details in the abdomen along with some colors. And then these flaps are the flaps that go on the other belt also. This one has a post here for the holster, and the gun does fit in the holster. And so now it doesn't stay in there so well. It's not held in place very well by friction. See, it just falls out. So there is that, but it will go in there. So that's cool. And then there's the piece that replaces on the other belt, the little canister piece. But I have to say, overall, I think it's nicely detailed. I think it's proportioned well. And, you know, it's on solo. Did I mention the paint apps here in the abdomen? That's really the only other paint apps on it. Everything else is molded in color. Now let's talk about the articulation. He can look up that high. He can look down that low. He's got chicken neck. He's got waggle. He's got attitude. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulders, I think there is a little bit of butterfly. It goes back about that far. It goes forward about that far, and that's it. And it does go up and down a bit as well. This piece is a separate piece, and it's on a hinge, its own hinge. So let's see. Go up all the way. So adjusting this piece, you can get his arm up that high at the shoulder, which is a little bit better than 90 degrees. And it is attached to the upper part of the arm, so the arm rotates 360 degrees with no issues. There is a rotation at this armor piece, and it rotates 360 degrees. Double hinged pinless elbow, and it gives you that much bend, so that's pretty good. And again, I showed the wrist hinge earlier. It's a ball on each end with a hinge in the middle, so you know it can go up and down, or you can adjust it to go in and out. There's a cut here where the chest and the abdomen meet, and then the abdomen and the waist, and that gives him all kinds of hula. And when you try to rotate him, he wants to come apart, so you might not get a full 360 degree rotation out of it, probably about that far, and about that far. It's what I can do it without it feeling like it's gonna pop apart. So just something to be aware of, not necessarily a negative. He can, with both of these working in conjunction, he can lean back that far, and he leans forward that far. So not bad, not great, not bad though. Again, these pieces are hinged. You kind of have to flip these up when you're messing with the leg, so he gets that much of the splits. And it is, I think, yeah, there is a bit of a pull down hinge in there for the hips. So let's try that again with it fully engaged. So we'll go ahead and call that the full splits. He can kick forward approximately 90 degrees, but as you can see, that 90 degrees does come with some swing out because of the crotch plate, and then he kicks back that far. And again, there might be a little bit of outswing with that, but it's not a whole lot. And we can put those hinges back in place. There's a cut here, or a build piece, whatever you want to call it, in the lower thigh, I guess, where this armor piece comes on. It does rotate 360 degrees. Double hinged pinless knee, and it gives you that much bend. Now that is due to the armor. The actual piece bends much further than that, but as you can see, it's, you know, kind of square looking. And it's almost like an import figure hinge. And that goes for the one in the elbow as well. And then no rotations in the leg past the thigh. At the foot, or at the ankle, rather, it tilts down that far. It tilts up that far. It has a pin for rocker. And the foot will rotate 360 degrees. And he does have some toe tilt, and that much of it. And then on the bottom of the foot, this is the foot piece that you would pull off under the toe tilt there. So you pull this piece off and replace it with the one with the post, and that's how you get him to stand on the stand. And that, my friends, is pretty much a look at a piece falling off. And that's a look at the figure model kit and accessories / extra pieces. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Blokees Champion Class Star Wars A New Hope Han Solo Stormtrooper disguise version with Star Wars The Black Series Han Solo and Stormtrooper disguise, and Star Wars The Black Series The Mandalorian Stormtrooper. For our last set of comparisons, here we have the Blokees Champion Class Model Kit Star Wars A New Hope Han Solo Stormtrooper disguise version with from the Marvel Legends series, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal Variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black Series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final ramblings on the Blokees Champion Class Star Wars A New Hope Han Solo Stormtrooper disguise version model kit, I have to say, overall, I'm pretty impressed with it. Now, it does have some of the hallmarks of it being a model rather than an action figure, but the plastic actually feels a little bit better to me than, say, the Moto King Dark Knight Batman that I looked at a while back. So the plastic on this one feels more premium, I guess, but less model-like, if that makes sense. It's not as thin. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know exactly how to describe it, which, you know, not uncommon for Digital Caveman Presents reviews. But I will have to say, you know, the Stormtrooper parts look really, really good. They're actually kind of realistic looking, except for maybe the parts around the knees. Other than that, it looks really, really good. I do wish it had come with a few more of the back of the hand armor pieces, so that all the extra hands had armor pieces for them, and there was no having to swap stuff out. But I guess there just wasn't sprue space for that. I like the fact that it comes with a holster and the gun fits in it. The extra hands that can hold the helmet and the rifle and stuff like that. So, you know, everything that's contained in this kit is really cool. and just adds to it. The only thing that I could really ding this on is the likeness, and I understand they're probably not licensing the likenesses of the actors. I don't know exactly how it works, or if they're just doing it in their own aesthetic, but it's more of an animated look to me. Your mileage, of course, may vary, than a realistic look. I mean, you can kind of still tell this is supposed to be Han Solo, but it doesn't really look like Harrison Ford. It may share a few of his features, like his brow and his nose, maybe his chin. But as far as, you know, is it screen accurate to the actor? No, it's not. And I think that's more to do with Blokees trying to do it in a certain style rather than trying to do it realistically. But honestly, that's the only thing I really can gig this on. For the most part, it moves better than the Black Series figure. The range is a little bit better than the most Black Series figures. And after building this one, and I also built the Luke Skywalker in Stormtrooper Disguise version, I kind of want to get my hands on the Darth Vader and see how it looks. I may skip it if the mask has kind of a cartoony look to it, because the Stormtrooper helmets here don't have a cartoony look to it. They appear to be kind of screen accurate, or at least as far as I can tell, without holding it up to the, you know, a still from the movie, or, you know, pausing the movie and holding it up to the TV. You know, I can't tell if it's, you know, super 100% screen accurate, but it looks pretty screen accurate just looking at it. So we'll see. That does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.